Ni hao Sunny Koku citizens, this is Shirei Hong here, and today what I want to talk about is something that has been a pretty big bad issue, and before I get into that, I just want to make that clear that just because I am criticizing the game doesn't mean I don't like it. I still love playing the game. I love to roleplay. I love the new items, like the rainbow ears are really cool. I think I recently just got the Dino tail as well. I still love the game though. But what I want to talk about has been, a pretty big bad issue. It's about a rule in particular, and I'm pretty sure some of you guys know which rule I'm talking about. And I know there's going to be a lot of you who are going to quickly jump to the defense, and I just want to make this clear. I respect you if you're against me on this or not. But I've noticed a lot of people have been having an issue with this. But first I'm going to just go over the rules, because I'll admit I do agree with pretty much all the rules here in this game. Like, the first one, it says, remember to scroll down, there's more. The first one basically says, follow Roblox, TOS, exploding 18 behavior. Basically, any harassment or hate speech is an automatic ban with no appeal. That is very understanding. Role-playing in adventure servers is allowed. We encourage you to use the roleplay servers if you want more formal roleplay, though. This one, I remember a time for the second rule here when so many people were complaining about this rule right here. And I'll never forget that when so many people were all like, you can't roleplay here, this is not a roleplay server. And the first thing that came to my head when people were arguing with one another about this, I was like, why does it matter? And it looks like they finally changed this rule. So that's a good thing, because people used to just flip out at others, and I was like, why does it matter where they roleplay? It's basically a roleplay game in a way, but it's more than just that. I'm aware of that. There is adventure, of course, and finding Boots and Cal, for instance. So yeah, I could see it being more than roleplay, but you could still obviously roleplay here. So I'm glad they made this rule and fixed it up. Rule number 3, right here says, no spamming in the chat, don't swear by passwords filtered by Roblox. This is very understanding, because we all know we don't like spammers. Spamming can be just a little bit too annoying sometimes, and people don't like to see too many repeats constantly every single second. No inappropriate roleplays, actions, characters, or conversations. Dens also may not be built for inappropriate purposes. This one I find understanding. They basically want you to keep it clean. I understand that. The next one says, roleplays where subjects are being imprisoned. Tested is not allowed in Felandia. Abuse or not. Do not make other characters engage in the action without other owners' consent. Having scientists OCs and science-themed RPs is still allowed. Testing and diseases and plants is also allowed. Beast taming, do animal roleplays and similar roleplays where a character is held hostage is allowed, as long as it's not abusive and there is content among all roleplays. Yeah, I understand. Abusive can be a little too much sometimes. A little too scary. The next one says, scamming is reportable offense and is bannable. Admins have the tools to detect this. Do not do that. This is very understanding, and so many people have done it. I totally agree with this rule here. Is this rule number 5? I lost track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, this is rule number 6. I agree. Nobody likes scamming. It's very upsetting and very triggering towards others. I totally agree with that one. Treat everyone with courtesy. If you make someone feel uncomfortable, just stop. Bullying on a personal level is not allowed, and it is discretion of another person. If they feel bullied, that determines if you are. You also may not force someone to roleplay with you. This is very understanding. Okay, people love to feel safe, strong, and free when playing a game. You can't force them to roleplay. You can't bully them, obviously, okay? That's a very understanding rule. I totally agree with that one. The next one says, don't interpret being an admin or member of the staff. Treat them with ultimate respect, including trial admins who are admins, and don't Mini mode, if you see a rule breaker, report them to a staff member instead of handling them yourself. This one is very understanding. You cannot pretend to be a staff. Obviously, if you guys don't know this, the way how you could tell if someone's a staff or an admin is that you're going to see the color in the chat. That's how you'll immediately know. For those who don't know, now you do. But some of you might say, yes, we know this. That's understanding. The next one says, trolling isn't tolerated. Coming back in alter counts after a ban will increase the chance of an unban. This is very understanding. I know it's hard to be patient sometimes, but sometimes it's, you know, it's better to be safe than sorry for this one. Trolling, obviously, is just disrespectful, and people honestly wouldn't disagree on that one. No, actually, bright dens, having a lot of light, empty furniture in it, it is absolutely clear that it can hurt people's eyes. I didn't get this one at first when I said, why couldn't dens be bright? And someone literally said, it's because it can hurt their eyes. I'm like, oh, okay. So I guess that's just to be respectful for others, because it can be sensitive. I agree with this rule as well. This rule right here is the rule we are going to be talking about. I'm going to save that one for last, because I want to get into that rule and talk about it. The next one, we're just going to skip over there. The next one says, violent threats towards NPCs will not be tolerated. Skipping them are not allowed. Assume they all cannot constant, and you may not make yourself related to them as kin. This one I find understanding because it is their NPCs, so you probably just can't mess around with the art. I mean, I think people can cosplay as them. I'm not 100% sure, because I've seen people cosplay as Cal before. I'm not really sure if that's even still allowed or not. I'm going to have to reread the other rule that I'm going to be talking about soon enough. The next one says, just because it isn't written in the rules doesn't mean you cannot get away with it, with bad behavior. Be civil. Yeah, just be respectful. The next one's, I think that's just saying, I don't really know how to explain this one. I think you just have to be respectful. The next one says, to protect intelligent property, you must not have any property material in your den without their consent. This means having other people's art in carvings and books and book stands without permission, credit, etc. This is very understanding. I agree with this rule. It's always good to be respectful. You always want to credit your artists, guys. You always want to credit your artists. It's very important. I've actually made this mistake before, not in this game. It was on, I think, Instagram or something when I used to be on there. I used to make this mistake a lot, and I am so sorry I ever had the issue with those people. I think everything turned out great in the end, and I just credited them. But I agree with this rule 100%. Terms, your chat is including private messages, however, that chat logs are not kept forever and are strictly used for moderation only. If there's evidence admins are infringing on privacy or breaking the rules, they are not immune to punishment, and in these cases they should be reported to head admins. So I guess if it's an admin breaking the rule, you have to go to head admin, from what this one sounds like right here. That's understanding, because, you know, admins have a little more, well, they have more power than we do, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're in charge of things that we're not. So it probably would make sense to go to a head admin. I agree with that one. The next one says, leaving the game when confronted, depending on the rule you broke, can lead to an official ban. If you see anyone breaking the rules, report it to another members or admin team. Thanks. If you don't agree with the rules and terms, please leave the game. This one I understand with the leaving the game, but sometimes people don't even know they're being talked to. I kind of understand this one, but I'm pretty sure they give people chances that they deserve, you know, because people might just leave and not even realize they're being talked to. But I want to talk about the rules, so I'm going to get on with that and talk about why I'm against it. 75%, but 25% of me is with this rule. And also, if you decide to send me any hate comments in the comment section, I'm just going to delete your comment, possibly block you, and then just be done with it, because I don't tolerate with haters. So I'm going to try and be very nice about this one as possible. Alrighty, so I just realized I said rules. I meant to say rule, because I'm only going to be talking about one rule in particular in this game. Some of you probably already know which rule it's going to be about, while some of you others may not know at all. And I know people are quickly gonna jump to the defense for this rule, but the rule that I notice has been a very big problem here in Felandia is this rule right here, saying characters from 18 plus Phantoms are not allowed to be cosplayed as in the game. Furthermore, all Phantom cosplays are discouraged, although it will not get you reported. Copying another OCs without their permission, including NPCs, are also not allowed. Part of me is with this rule only by 25%, and I'll explain why. Although, first off, when I first got attacked, which is in a completely different video, and I'm going to try and link you guys to that video about the time I got attacked. I didn't take screenshots when I should have, but there was a time I actually got reported because of this rule. Copying another OCs without their permission, this one I understand this part of the rule, and this is the part of the rule that I agree with, because like I said before about art, you can't do that without like crediting people, and it's always good to ask first, because honestly this part of the rule, if you break this part of the rule, this can make other players honestly feel uncomfortable, and that I understand. But the 18 plus rule thing, I know what you guys are going to say about this one, and I know you guys are quickly going to jump to the defense on this one. Just bear with me on this. This is just my opinion. But there are usually two reasons I notice to why people ban Phantoms. It's usually either A, they hate the Phantom so much that they don't want people talking about it either on their servers or in games like these, which I do not think that is why they added this. I don't think they added it because of this. Or it's B, which I feel like this is the reason to why they added this rule. It's because of B. If a parent was to say allow their kid to play games like these, and they talk about like Hazbin Hotel, for example, which I started watching and I really love the series, by the way, and they don't want to be held like responsible if somebody was to be cosplaying as Angel Dust, for example, or Luna for that Hell You've Evolved series. They don't want to be held accountable because parents, sometimes, not always, people decide to target the Deves. When I want to get into that part, which leads me to another thing. If you're a Deve or an admin or a cosplayer within a game, I just want to make it clear, because I know that sometimes people make this rule because they don't want to be blamed for it, and I don't blame them, but I want to make it clear it's not your fault, and I'm going to tell you guys why it's not your fault. If somebody was to target you because you're cosplaying as Angel Dust, or you're the Deve of the game or something. Alrighty, I know people are going to still jump to the offense, but the reason why I say it's not your fault, whether if you're cosplaying as some kind of Hazbin Hotel character, or if you're a Deve or an admin, the reason why I say it's not your fault is because you guys might say, oh, little kids are gonna play this game. Yes, that's true. There is usually two reasons to why little kids play on Roblox, for example. Is either A, believe it or not, some parents actually allow their kids to see gory stuff. Like, I met this mother once who had this 11-year-old boy, and I respectfully asked her, because I was in the mood to watch Hazbin Hotel, and I asked her, is your son allowed to watch this? And she honestly said yes, because she doesn't shelter her son from anything gory or bypassing. Like, she doesn't really allow him to swear, at least not that I know of. But she allows her son to play on Roblox as well, because she says she doesn't want to shelter him. This is understanding. Some parents I know allow this, and I know you're going to say some parents don't. And that's understanding, so that's why you'll see little kids play on these games, because it could be that. Or it could be B, which is probably what scares people. And B is when a parent tells their kid they can't play the game because they don't allow them to see gory stuff, they don't want them to be around that stuff, they don't want them to start bypassing. Or it could also be C, which I just realized, parents may allow their kids to play on Roblox but not be aware of the consequences of what could happen. So, say if a parent does allow their kid to play the game, like maybe it's here on Felandia, for example, and the little 10-year-old boy decides to play the game since their parents are okay with it, then they find out about something called South Park, and they're curious because they want to know what this whole TV show called South Park is, so they decide to look up South Park, and this is what probably brought this rule into this game. I'm just gonna take a guess there. And the parents get so mad at the creators of Felandia, right? They decide to take it out of them, not just on the people who are cosplaying. They decide to send them death threats. And when you think about it, that breaks a rule, and that's actually what happened to me. I think people were threatening me and harassing me, which breaks another rule that was actually shown in this game, right? We're not allowed to bully or harass, right? And not only do they bully and harass the cosplayers, they might want to turn around, for example, on Felandia, they might decide to attack IU, for example. Meanwhile, he didn't do anything wrong, and before you know it, they start harassing those people, and then before you know it, pretty much all the rules start getting broken, and possibly they could start spamming saying report so-and-so over and over and over again, because I've seen that happen before, and somebody was telling this other person to stop because it was getting annoying, because they kept repeating it over and over again. And of course there was harassing and bullying, which broke one of the rules here on Felandia. I actually forgot I could pull the rules up here if I wanted to. It would cause some of these rules to break. Yes, spamming could actually be one of them, although I see that one break a lot. And I know a lot of you might jump to the defense to say things like, oh, well, people break rules all the time, we just report them. Yeah, that is true, but because of the 18+ rule, it actually has caused other rules to break before. I've seen it happen before. I know a lot of you are going to jump to the defense saying you haven't seen it before. If you haven't seen it before, then I guess you're lucky to not be in the drama, but to not be around it. Okay, this literally just slipped my mind, but I forgot to say this about if a parent allows their kid to join a game without being aware of the consequences of what their child could see, and if it ends up bothering them. This kind of reminds me of something that's happened in Animal Jam. It wasn't over a TV show or anything, but there was a time, I don't know if anyone's ever played Animal Jam before, but there was this one time, it was all over the news, and I think there was like this kid who was playing Animal Jam. I think it was their daughter, this mother's daughter. And what happened is that the mother got so mad she didn't let her child play Animal Jam ever again because I think something sexual happened. I think that was obviously breaking a rule right there. The other person was breaking a rule because they were saying something sexual to the 9-year-old girl. I think she was 8 or 9, I can't remember. But I don't know if any of you guys remember that. That was like all over the news a long time ago. I think it was 9 years ago or something. And I also remember this one other time when somebody who played Feral, I don't know if you guys heard of Feral before, but there was this person who made this video on Feral saying why kids under the age 13 shouldn't join the Feral game, if anyone remembers Feral before it shut down by the company. But he was saying stuff like either one way or another it's gonna happen. Like someone could say, oh, I'm never gonna get in drama, but either one way or another you're gonna get in drama in the game because drama's everywhere. But I think he was talking about like groomers, like one way or another you're gonna run into a groomer, you're gonna run into inappropriate role plays or anything sexual, whether if it's bannable or not. He said one way or another it's still gonna happen, and it makes sense. And I don't know if I explained this clearly, but the reason why I say it's not your fault, sorry for the stutter there, is because when you think about it, if the kid is going against their parents saying, when they say, what you guys gotta learn to understand, if your mother and father says no, it's no. If you're under the age 13, you want to play a game, if they say no, it's no. And I know we can't stop it from happening, because if they were to sneak and get on the game, for example, it is actually their fault because they are the ones who are defying their parents by going onto a game that their parents did not approve of, yet they do it anyways. So when you think about it, it's that kid's fault for doing it when they shouldn't have. It's like your parents say, don't go down there. There's snakes down there near the sewer, and before you know it, the kid doesn't listen to their parents. Kind of like a curiosity killed the cat kind of thing. And yet before you know it, they get down there to play with the snakes after the parents tell them not to go down there and play with the snakes, and yet they pick up a snake, and before you know it, they get bitten, which has happened to someone before that I actually know of, but I don't see him anymore. And sometimes it could even be the parents' fault if they don't think it through. I'm not trying to sound rude or disrespectful in any way, and I'm sorry if I'm offending you if you're a parent or not. Alrighty, hopefully I got done saying everything on those topics there, but I do have screenshots that I want to show you guys of what people have said on the Discord server. And before I show this, I just want to make it clear to you all that if your name is being shown, you didn't do anything wrong. This isn't to be mean or target anyone in any way, because I know some people can be uncomfortable. I couldn't really figure out a way to contact these people because I don't really know how to work Discord that well, that kind of stuff. It's still complicating to me because I don't really use Discord that much. But oh boy, if I had a nickel for every time somebody asked an admin here of Felandia or on the Discord server of somebody asking, hey, is this Phantom okay? Is that Phantom okay? Is using the name Alistair okay? Is using the name Angel Just, Lucifer, or Charlie Morningstar, or Lunar okay? Do you not know that I would be pretty darn freaking rich for how many times somebody has asked you guys as an admin, or any admins of that, or the Deeves? You don't know I'd be pretty darn freaking rich because of how many times this has been asked? Yeah, I'd be pretty darn freaking rich. And I'm gonna show you guys the screenshots. Just remember, I'm not targeting you guys. I actually loved what some of you people said. So I'm gonna get on there and show some of the screenshots. Because I liked what some others were saying, and I'm going to show you guys proof that it was asked so many times, like, about phantoms and possibly names. I could have screenshotted them all, but there's really so many on the Discord that I wouldn't be able to show them all to you guys, because there's just so many about asking, like, about phantoms or character names, stuff like that. But we're gonna show you some things I screenshotted. I only screenshotted my favorite ones, so if your name is not in there, please no harassment. But I'm gonna show you what some people have said. Alrighty, so the first screenshot we have is, I believe this is from an admin named Eggsy the Third, Buddy. And they said, I'll just put here, with the rule rewrite, we've only decided to ban one specific genre of phantoms, while the rest will be allowed. Of course, conservation people and cosplays will fall under its own category. Things are still to be discussed. However, we want to try to give players more freedom, and so we don't get asked, is literal Tyler's media a banned phantom all the time, like a sketched CD. At the moment, the current rules fall into place, and we must go by them. They are written out, and they will be put into game when the next update arrives. We may show the new rules to the community for their thoughts, but we've had a very long talk about it. So basically, what this admin is saying is that they are going to change the rule a bit from the looks of it, because it does seem like a lot of people are asking him this question. This is proof that one of the admins has noticed that about a banned phantom, like, is this a banned phantom? Is that a banned phantom? Like, it's been asked so many times about all kinds of phantoms, and it seems like they're going to try and change the rule because of it. And another admin says, we all want the banned phantom rule to be crunched as badly as anyone else. It's becoming a massive pain in the ass for everyone, from what that admin said. And I think they're basically saying they just want to get that rule over with as soon as possible, because it seems like it's just everyone's been breaking it. And the next one, which is from the same admin, actually the third again, says, "This shits annoying. I know it's frustrating, but I cannot go onto Felandia myself and put the rules in. There's a very good chance it could break things." So this admin, I think, is saying they really want to change the rule, but I guess they haven't yet. They might have changed it because this was from a while back. But this is proof that a lot of people are constantly asking about the whole ban fandom thing. And I know a lot of you might jump to defense saying, we have to ask it because we don't want to break the rules. We want to be respectful. Yeah, that's very understanding. Sometimes I feel like I should start asking about the fandoms that I love because of what happened to me recently. And I don't blame you guys. Nobody wants to get banned. Which will bring me to another thing that I'm going to talk about soon enough. But this is one of the proofs here that has been asked so many times because of M, and it's basically mentioned it here, which I'm going to show more to you real quick. Alrighty, I'm only going to read part of this one because this one's kind of long, but somebody named Incognito, I don't know how to say their name, asked a question about a fandom thing as well, and they said, okay, so I have a question regarding the whole banned fandoms thing. Is there a current list of all the fandoms banned? I know there's that small set of examples in the pins, but someone I know got in trouble over a fandom that wasn't on the list because they didn't know. I don't know. I think it would help quite a few people out if they knew exactly what isn't allowed, and would save the admins a lot of time since they wouldn't have to hop into servers to inform people as often. Next one we have is from someone named Lipidudendron. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. And this person said, I find has-been hotel names really cool, so I usually sneaky steal names for my own characters. It's fine if I name my Felandia OCs after the characters, right? And it looks like the Div Sunbronze texted him back saying, yes, you can use a name without the accession to has been, aside from angel dust, which is an actual drug. Next up we have is from someone who goes by the name Crusto Crumb, and they said, is this reportable? It seems like it has been cosplay plus mention, but I'm not sure, and I don't have a picture of their OC either. Looks like later on they texted back saying, never mind, it's not a cause, sorry for talking here. The next one we have is from Yui Pings, and this person said, is having art of a banned phantom, especially has-been hotel, in your dead reportable? And one of the admins texted back, Ka Ping said, yeah, any mentions of it is not allowed. Alrighty, the next one is from Xer Wolfie, and they ask, is Call of Duty a banned phantom? And the admin, Sunbronze, texted him back saying yes. The next one is from the question that I asked, and I guess my name isn't fully showing, but I remember asking them, is using the name Alistair okay for me to use? And Sunbronze texted me back here saying it's completely fine for you to use the name. And last but not least, but this one is honestly my number one favorite one out of the whole lot, because I love how this one just shows enough proof that this rule is getting so out of hand that it is involving admins. And it is from this person named Violet. And what they said is, hi, I see a lot of people talking about a trial admin who's cosplaying as a has-been hotel character, Alistair, I believe, as the name Wawa. Just kind of wanted to clarify that There is no claim in the trial admin's bio or name that contains them with the Has-Been Hotel show. So it's a bit confusing because I see a lot of people trash talking about this trial admin due to it. I'm not sure which trial admin it is. It's just a tad confusing, and I don't believe it's right on how much is being said behind this trial admin's back on how they should lose their position due to this, even though their OC has no mention of the show in any way. Yes, the morph looks similar, but as I said before, it has absolutely no mention of the show. And the admin, Sunbronze, texted him back saying, if people are doing this, you need to report them. Don't tolerate admin disrespect, let alone talking down on other players. They are not cosplaying Alistair and have never been cosplaying Alistair. Just because their OC might look like a character does not mean that it is the character. Has-Been Hotel does not own the concept of a red deer. You see, this is proof right here that it is getting so bad for that rule that I was talking about, is that they're not only trash talking, harassing possibly, which I've seen it before, or bullying people, but now they're trash talking about an admin? Does anyone kind of see that this rule is kind of getting a little out of hand, that it's just causing more drama to happen? Like, am I the only one that sees this here? So yeah, from what someone once told me, I would have screenshotted what they said, but they honestly said they got warned by admins, so they didn't want to keep talking about it anymore, but apparently they said when an admin was actually doing a Has-Been Hotel roleplay, they were roleplaying with someone who went by the name Angel, and they apparently said that once the admin who was cosplaying as Alistair left, they said that a bunch of people went over and confronted Angel about it. I don't know if they meant that they were harassing this person who went by the name Angel or Angel Dust. Apparently, as soon as the admin left, they went over and confronted them about it. And the person was saying it's a shame that admins can do whatever they want, but like I said before, you think about it, if the parent says the kid's not allowed on the internet, then the kid shouldn't be on the internet. And there was this time when I was talking about the 18+ rule in this game, and somebody honestly said the rules in this game are actually very sensitive. And I got curious and I asked them, is it the whole cosplay rule thingy? And the person honestly texted me back saying yes, but apparently they said they weren't saying the rules were sensitive, but somebody else did say they was sensitive. And according to one or two people in the game told me about this, not trying to scare you guys in any way. Somebody honestly told me that people are quitting Felandia because of this. I don't know if that's true or false. I haven't seen that many players lately, so it could be a possibility, or just taking a break, but I got curious, and I asked him, are people quitting this game because of the whole cosplay 18+ thingy? And the people honestly texted me back saying yes. I would have screenshotted them, but they were too uncomfortable, and obviously I want to be respectful towards them, so I didn't screenshot what they said, but that is honestly what they have told me. And somebody else said that not only are people quitting the game because of this rule or being warned by the admins because of this rule, but according to somebody in the game, they said that the admins, from what I was told, the admins are actually starting to ban people because of this rule, and I'm thinking to myself, like, really? Just because they love being a character? Just because they love being Angel Dust or something? As long as they're not being inappropriate as the character, they should be fine. I think some people would honestly jump to defense saying, yeah, you can't act like the character. Somebody honestly said, think of it as a joke that went too far. I would say yes, only to a certain point. Kind of like what I said now, if they're doing something sexually inappropriate or bypassing as the character. I could see that being against the rules, because that would actually, I believe that would break other rules in this game if I can pull it up again. Like, they say don't swear bypass, right? That's understanding, so no swearing or bypassing. That would make sense. As long as they're not swearing, bypassing, or doing anything sexual as the character, they should be fine when you guys think about it. I didn't want to talk about it to the other people. They weren't admins, but I didn't want to get into it too much because I was afraid that a whole drama was going to start. And when I used the name Alistair again, I almost got attacked for the second time, which is pretty darn messed up, but luckily when they looked at my character, they got a closer look at my character and they said, okay, never mind, I thought it was a Hasbin Hotel character. And before I knew it, they left me alone. So they were a lot more nicer about it, but I did tell them about my bad experience, and they said it's because they thought you were cosplaying as the character. So yeah, hopefully you guys kind of sort of understand this now to why I don't think this rule is really that good. And I'm gonna show you guys something from South Park, but please keep in mind it is an 18+ show, which means it's for adults, so just warning you. But it's going to be a good example because I feel like, you know, it's getting so bad that people are getting harassed, bullied, or even threatened about it, and the admins constantly have to, you know, go to the people every time the people have to ask a question like, is this okay? You know, is that fandom okay? Hey, this person's cosplaying as Charlie Morningstar or something. But I'm going to show you an example from South Park because I feel like it makes a pretty good example. It's kind of silly too, which I am going to pull it up right now as a good example of like people who have been getting harassed or bullied or even screenshotted or witch hunted in the game because of this rule.
Another scotch?
Hey, Panda Bear! We don't take kindly to your types in here.
Now calm down, Skeeter. He ain't hurting nobody.
Now, I want to know something from Mr. Panda Bear here.
Me.
Yeah, what can I do for you?
Somebody told us they saw a big panda bear in here.
Big panda bear, big panda.
Hey, 8-year-old. We don't take kindly to your types in here.
Now calm down, Skeeter. They ain't hurting nobody.
No, I want to know something from Mr. I'm 8 years old here.
Alrighty, so I know people still might jump to the fence saying things like kids aren't supposed to see it, but there is an example of a game, in fact, on here on Roblox too. So yeah, another game and on Roblox, I'm going to show you guys proof that Hasbin Hotel, for example, is actually on some kid things. So hold on a sec, because I'm going to pull it up for you guys, just so you guys can see proof that it is in games. Okay, I know this might be off topic, but somebody honestly said that Hasbin Hotel was banned off Roblox, and I'm going to prove that it is not. I know this is a little bit off topic here, but watch what happens when I type in Hasbin Hotel. Take a look at this, and people are actually playing this. This one got 90% likes, 72 people are playing this. Not a whole lot, but people are playing these. This one got 110 people playing. It's got 85% likes. This one, 79%, and 137 people are playing, so a little more people seem to be playing this one. I'm actually kind of desperate to try these games. All these Hasbin Hotel games, but whoever said Hasbin Hotel is banned from Roblox, that's a total bull, because you can see it right here. I could even go to the avatar section. Pretty sure they have Hell You Above Boss here too. I watched that before. I don't think I got into it that much. Watch what happens though when I type in Hasbin Hotel here. Watch. It's gonna show you. See, look, there is some. It's not banned off Roblox. Seriously, why the heck would that person say that? I mean, unless it's just a rumor that was going around. But as you can see, it is not banned. It is right here, guys. I don't know what that person was talking about. It is not banned. I don't know if they were trying to trick me or what. I'm going to show you another game, which I'll admit the next game I'm going to show you is a game I commonly play, and those who are subbed to me long enough would know. but I'm going to show you. I would show you proof that there is cosplays in it too, but that would require finding people, and people don't like their names to always be shown. So I can't really show it to you, but I'm going to show you in the next game, and it's in a kid's game, by the way. Yes, in a kid's game, and yet nobody has ever complained about it, but I'm going to show you real quick. Alright, we're going to use Animal Jam as an example here. I tried to befriend this person just so I can ask them if they're okay with this or not. But as you can see, if you look around her den, you can see lots and loads of Has-Been Hotel stuff, especially Alistair, which I'll admit, Alistair's kind of my favorite now, and it seems like she's a big fan of him. She does artwork of him and stuff. If I could get a close-up of one of them, like this one, for instance. And as you can see, no one complains about it. And it is in a kid's game. Like, look at all this, all the Alistair. I think she had more than Alistair, too. If I can find any more. And she actually sells some art. I actually kind of want to get the Lucifer one. There's more Alistair. It seems like she's a big fan of Alistair. I don't blame her. He is a cute demon. He's a very cute deer demon. I think he's honestly my new favorite now. But this is a good example because it's in a kid's game. And yet no one complains about it. I don't see why they would. I mean, it's not like it's showing anything inappropriate, right? It's not like he's cussing in one of these. So it's like, what's the big deal? I know people might jump to the defense saying, well, it's their game and they can do what they want. Which I'm gonna get on that real quick. Okay, if you guys are against me because of this rule, please forgive me. This character from 18 plus Fandoms rule has been bad. It just isn't a good rule to have. And it's still causing issues for other people. So now that you have seen that Animal Jam, a kid's game, allows it. If they can allow it, why can't this one? Now, I know a lot of you might jump to defense saying it's their game and they can do what they want. Or they might say something like, if you don't like the game, just leave. Yes, I understand, but from the fact that this game is on Roblox, I feel like it would make more sense that if this game was kind of like Minecraft or Feral Heart, to where it had its own system and it wasn't on Roblox, and it was like its own system, its own private download, or its completely own server to where it wasn't a Roblox game at all, I could see that rule being a little more understanding. Like to why we have to follow it. Because it would be their whole system. But yeah, I think I'm going to end it here in this video. Sorry, I honestly froze for a second there. I don't know what the heck happened. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end this video, but now that you guys kind of sort of understand the multiple reasons to why I don't think this game should have that rule. I mean, I know I've seen things ban Phantoms before, but I feel like this rule is just getting really out of hand, and I've seen so many people constantly asking the admins over and over again about the Phantoms, or, you know, the banned Phantoms, is this banned, is that banned, is this name okay to use, is that name okay to use, and admins have to constantly go into the game every time someone breaks that rule, and I know you guys might say, well, they have to do that all the time, but it seems like that one rule is just causing so many problems that I know you guys would say, if you don't like it, then leave the game, and honestly, I don't disagree on that. Usually we do have to follow the rules all the time, and I'll admit, I'm starting to feel like I'm gonna quit Felandia, maybe not permanently, because if the game says to update, for example, if there's gonna be an update, I'm probably gonna update for you guys, because you know, I love to talk about updates in games. I mean, you see me talk about an Animal Jam so many times because they have the most updates so far out of every game I play. But I don't want to quit the game, but from the fact that I respect usually the rules and I don't want to ever get in trouble, because I never really been reported until that attack, like, about a week ago happened to me, and I'm starting to think I should quit Felandia because of it, and I know some of you guys might say, well, you shouldn't have to. I'm like, well, I really want to do a Has-Been Hotel roleplay. And I know, like, I was meaning to ask you guys, I kind of asked this in my other video too, like, would it ever be okay for me to do a Has-Been Hotel roleplay in this game, but maybe not call it Has-Been Hotel? Like, maybe we could still use the same names as, like, Angel Dust, or Charlie Morningstar or something, or Lucifer. Like, wouldn't it be okay for us to use the names but not call it a Has-Been Hotel roleplay? No one answered me in the last video, and I'm asking again. Like, couldn't we just call it a Demon roleplay or something, or a Demon Angel roleplay, or a Demon Hotel roleplay or something? Like, wouldn't that be okay? Because, like, if they're not gonna get rid of the rule, I wonder if we could do that. And, alright, I think I really do have to end this video. I'm so sorry. This video ended up being longer than expected. I think because I had multiple reasons to why we didn't need this rule. I hope you guys understand me or not. And if you are against me on this rule and why I think it should be removed from the game, I totally respect you. Just keep in mind, if you do decide to send me hate comments or any death threats, they're just going to be deleted because I don't deal with that kind of stuff. Usually I'm just the kind of person that blocks a person in the game if they start any drama with me or anything of it. Just keep that in mind. If you're gonna be against me, just be clean about it. I'll respect you if you're against me on this or not. I just feel like it's an issue that needs to be talked about. And I respect all the admins and everyone, so I'm gonna end the video from here now. Hopefully this makes enough sense. I realized I had a lot of unleft things said. But if you wish to see more, feel free to like and subscribe, and Zai Chen.